6 up-and-coming brokers, 6 ambitious candidates, all with one aim, to be crowned Broker Apprentice 2016. LV's offices in the heart of the City of London. Here today, the 6 broker apprentices will each have a one-to-one interview with LV Broker Managing Director Mike Crane, after which one will be crowned the overall winner of the Broker Apprentice 2016.
Other than yourself, who do you think stands out as a likely winner this year?
I would probably choose Craig.
I think Dean does stand out.
Probably Jonathan and Craig.
I certainly think Dean has come into his own.
I think it's Jonathan.
I think all 5 of them in there are deserving of winning.
I'm really looking for today to get your help and your insight into what you've seen of the candidates. Help me prepare for the final interview.
After lots are drawn, first in the interview chair is Jonathan.
Jonathan, how has he performed in the task?
Yeah, Jonathan, breadth of knowledge about the market, very measured, very dependable. Perhaps what I'd like a little bit more, if he just a little bit more drive there.
Throughout the tasks that you've been through so far and going through the whole event this year, what have you learned about yourself?
So I think I've learnt that definitely I'm actually quite confident and maybe more confident than I thought. I think that certainly on the presenting task, I'm actually probably more able to present than I maybe thought I was.
Are there any times in this series where you felt really uncomfortable, where it's really taken you a long way outside your comfort zone?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Expo would be the prime example of that. I've been to conferences or expositions before, but only as a delegate, so I've been able to, of course, walk around and explore it myself. Whereas being an exhibitor and having to draw in crowds, try and attract people, talk to them about my proposition, about what I believe in, what I'm campaigning for. I think that's definitely been the most out of my comfort zone I've been.
Next up is Francesca.
Next candidate I really want to talk about is Frankie. Michael, share your thoughts.
I think Frankie is sort of really comes across as very enthusiastic. She's got some great ideas. And she's able to interact with all sorts of level of people, and that really came out in the school task particularly. I think her ideas just need to be developed a bit more and to be thought through to inception really for to the end.
Just looking back at the tasks you've done, can you say which of the tasks you think we saw you at your best in?
I'd say the second task for the board game that we had to create and present to the Year 6s. I find myself a very creative person, so I was really able to shine there.
What do you think you've learned about yourself during this apprentice series?
I think being here, when my director said, "Have you heard about the Broker Apprentice? I really think you should apply," I was a bit taken back thinking I couldn't do that. Now I find myself sat here in the final 6, and I just think that not only is it an achievement to be here, it's an achievement for myself because I've learnt so much along the way. I've been able to exercise all the skills that I already have, which I can take into my everyday life and working life, where I can then enhance them and work upon them as well.
Katie settles down for her interview.
Just moving on to Katie. Katie comes across actually to me as a really deep thinker, and she considers the options. She takes time to consider those options. She's been resilient throughout the task, despite not being on the winning team, and she's quietly passionate. That thing I would say about her passion is, though, maybe bring it out more. Actually, take people along on the journey with her, because I think she's got some really good ideas. What have you learnt about yourself during the series we've done so far?
I've learned that I work very well in a team. I already knew that I was good at teamwork, but I didn't realise how good I was. I've learnt to adapt myself to different personalities.
Is there anything that you think that we won't have seen of you so far?
I actually think that I've probably come across quite quiet, being in teams with people who may be quite loud or talk a lot. I've come across as very quiet, which my colleagues definitely wouldn't agree with. So yeah, I think I've not come across as maybe sort of loud and talkative as I maybe or as I definitely am.
Why do you think that's been?
I think because other people have been sort of quicker to get their voice heard than me, perhaps.
Is there, if you look back, do you regret that? Do you wish you pushed yourself more?
Yes, but at the same time, I don't like talking over people. Like, I sometimes like to hold back and then say my piece right at the end to sort of leave the impact, if you like.
Craig follows Katie into the chair.
Michael, can you tell me what you've seen in Craig?
Yeah, I think Craig has sort of shown a real wide knowledge base, and he's appeared as a really calm, natural leader. Just one thing to guard against for him is to make sure that he stays connected to what his customers are really thinking, and therefore what they need and how he can respond to that need.
What have you learnt about yourself during this exercise?
It's quite telling with some of the other candidates that have been on that the technical knowledge is quite strong with some of them. I think especially Katie and Jonathan got very strong technical knowledge, which I think is definitely an area for improvement. It's a bit of a cocktail really to be successful in this industry, in the broker industry.
So what do you think you've not been able to demonstrate of your skills through this series?
Yeah, I think in respect, I think we caught a good glimpse at the Broker Expo of some of my customer service skills and my relationship building, but I would like to try and get across some of that more, some of that rapport that I can build with people quite quickly. I can read people quite quickly.
And when have you been most outside your comfort zone?
I would say probably the board game task when we had to go and pitch the board game or play the board game with the primary school children. That was quite difficult. It was a different angle to attack insurance on. It's very difficult to try and explain to a young child about the benefits of insurance and obviously what can go wrong as well. You've got to be quite careful in how you get that across. So that was a bit of a very different angle on the concept.
Now it's Dean's turn in the hot seat.
Iris, tell me about Dean. What have you seen?
Dean, a lot of drive, saw that in the treasure hunt task. Probably one thing I'd like to see, a little bit more strategic thinking from the outset.
What's been the standout task for you which you think's really shown you at your best?
It's hard to pick one because I really enjoyed the board game and presenting it to the kids. It was a really fun day and showed that you can, something that's as technical and complicated as insurance, but really strip it back to essentially what it is, which is risk, and then make children understand that. I really, really enjoyed that.
Is there anything that we've not seen of you?
There's probably things I don't realise myself that you haven't seen from me, but I've really, throughout everything, I've shown organisation and leadership. You know, from the start, everybody wasn't at all happy with my choice for team name. The idea for the board game was my idea as well. Obviously with the help of everybody else too to give the finer details, but that was my choice.
How do you persuade the team to go with your ideas?
Confidence. You know, this is a good idea and this will work. And it's not so much about, I was going to say bullying them to do what I want, but it's not about that at all. It's just being confident and sure in yourself and in your own suggestions that give them the confidence in you to believe in you.
What do you think I need to believe in you that would make you stand apart?
People by people. I could come in here with any amount of knowledge or skills, but at the end of the day, if I'm not personable, I'm not well put together, I'm not sociable, I'm not seen to be willing to take on mistakes, take on the failures and learn from them, that would be a dull right from the start.
Shimon looks to impress Mike.
And the final candidate, let's talk about Shimon. Iris, what have you seen?
Shimon, very professional in his approach, very focused on the subjects, and that came over in the scheme task. If there's one thing I would say he needs to do is come out of his individual thinking and lead the team from the front sometimes.
Hi Shimon, I hope you've enjoyed the Broker Apprentice so far. What do you think your biggest strength was in the teams?
I think I'm quite good in planning and preparing for everything really. So when we were doing our task, I tried to think maybe less creative, more how it should be done in order for it to work. I tried to make sure that whenever we have to cut something out or get the research behind the campaign, it was available for them. I would share that with guys and I would share my thoughts with them, hoping that will contribute towards the end goal.
If you turned in and looked at yourself, why do you think I should be thinking of you as a contender to win the Broker Apprentice this year?
I do like to think about myself as a bright and open person that takes on challenges as they are presented. I don't really complain a lot. I just get a task and I'm making sure that it's done within the deadline given. And I think I've brought enough quality to the teamwork and to my individual task that kind of shows how good I can be in terms of preparation and in terms of getting things done.
After 6 interviews and 5 tasks in total, Mike Crane has a tough decision to make, helped by Michael, Iros, Emmanuel and Jonathan. The winner chosen, it's time for the apprentices to learn their fate.
Congratulations to all of you for getting this far in the Broker Apprentice competition this year. Speaking with Michael and Iris, they've been really impressed by the way everyone's taken part in the event and how you've all really stepped up and delivered throughout all the tasks you've been doing. I hope you've all learned a lot about yourself that will stand you in good stead for your future careers in insurance. But there can only be one winner of this event, and I'm pleased to say that the winner of the Broker Apprentice 2016 is Craig. Well done.
With Craig declared the winner, the candidates toast the victor.
There you go.
So what does being the Broker Apprentice 2016 mean to Craig?
I'm so pleased to win. It really is overwhelming. Probably even more pleasing to have beat some esteemed competition that I was up against. So yeah, very, very happy. I think it'll be great for the business. It's obviously hopefully going to get our brand out there a little bit, get my face out there and get my personal brand raised and profile raised, and it'll probably help relationships in the industry no end as well.
Craig really stood out for us as a winner in terms of everything he was doing, looking at how he was working with the team, really strong within the teams, but also his willingness to learn throughout this as well. Real passion came through about learning about himself and about how he can be even better in the future, and that's something for the apprentice that's a real standout, someone who's going to continually to invest in themselves, and if we can help him with that, it's going to make him have an amazing career ahead of him.
So after 4 challenges contested over the Square Mile, Dagenham and Coventry, congratulations to Craig Younger of Castle Insurance Services, the winner of Broker Apprentice 2016.